Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7 o'clock, 7:08 this evening, and I've kind of been fucking around all day. Bought a brisket. It was the cheapest beef that I could buy, actually, so I was pretty happy about that. So I'm going to show you what we did with the brisket today. And it's the evening, so I'm enjoying my Leinenkugels. This is me time now. But we're going to show you what we did for the brisket, and actually what I'm going to do is it's going to get smoked and making mac and cheese with it, because I don't feel like I've done a whole lot for Jenna, and I appreciate that woman very much. So one of her favorite things is mac and cheese, so let's do it right for her. All right, here we go. So remember how our microwave died? We got a new one. What kind is this? Panasonic? I don't know exactly how good it is, but you know, it's a replacement. And you wanted one, so you like the box shithead? Sniff. Oh, jeez, look at that thing. It's like almost as big as a dishwasher. You'll serve me well. But anyway, I got this to worry about instead. Big old brisket, $4.29 a pound. That's the cheapest that I've seen it in a while. So I figure, hey, I got good brisket. Let's get it trimmed, ready to go tomorrow. Throw it on the smoker. It'll be delicious. And I'm actually gonna do this bad boy. Gotta slap your meat. And do this with some mac and cheese. So I'll go through my process cleaning this up, because that whole ring of fat and all of that's all gotta come off. But I'm gonna save it and do stuff with it. So here we go. Okay, so if you never bought a brisket before, you're gonna have to do some trimming. So we'll go through a little bit of that now. See how big these bad boys are. This one is 15.79 pounds. So pretty big. I'm gonna cut this bag some more. So you can see that's not awesome. We don't want that on there. We're gonna cut that off. But we don't want to cut too much, because that's the thin side. So get this guy out of the bag. It's heavy and slippery, so tight squeeze. Come on, don't let me down. Should have cut it more. Ugh. All right, now I'd like to pat this dry a little bit, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Ugh. Good God, look at that thing. All right. So, looks like I got pretty good marbling in there. This whole chunk, you can see, like, if you start pulling on it, that's gonna come out. That's gonna get cut off. And this guy back here, this is part of why I bought this one, because this is actually kind of thick. So I'm not gonna lose a whole lot. I'll maybe lose, I don't know, quarter, about an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So let's start going to town here. So I can see that this whole knot is just kind of sticking out and up above. So take my fillet knife, and I kind of want to follow that line, because I don't want to cut into the muscle. I just want to cut the fat out and off. Okay, and I'm gonna save all that and render it down. So that looks okay there. Like whatever kind of ickies, just get rid of that. So I'll go through and trim that up a little bit. I'll go get all these lines off of here, and then real quick, let's get this guy flipped over and kind of show you what we got to do on the other side. So, all right. You see that this big old fat cap here, I want to get rid of most of this, but I'd still want to leave some. I want to leave about a 1/4 inch of fat on there, pretty much all the way around. So you're going to want to trim all the excess, and by the excess I mean the edges, because you can see that these look funny. They don't look quite right, and that's just that's part of the process when they put it in the bag. It's not like it's bad. I mean, you could leave it, but why would you? So I'll kind of show you. Let's just start cutting into this top fat cap here so I can see how much is actually there. And if you look at it, there's my meat, and then here's my fat cap. So I can kind of use that as a guide. Now I'm gonna want to cut these edges off as well, because there are a bit of them icky bits, and we don't want that. So all this is not going to be wasted, by the way. It's gonna get smoked and rendered and cooked. So you see right there, I'm gonna cut that out. I'll probably leave that there. I'll cut that big part down, and I wanna leave about a 1/4 inch over this whole thing. So we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, brisket is trimmed up. This is what I ended up with for trimmings. So you can see that that's quite a bit of fat and obviously some meat that we had to discard, but still, look at this guy. So I took off that whole fat line there, some in here, and I'm leaving this because this is the flat. Obviously I want more fat on there to be protected a little bit. So I'm gonna use my dry rub here and go pretty heavy on it. This is basically salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of smoked paprika as well. So go heavy on it, like heavy. One, it's a big piece of meat. Two, I want all this salt to soak in, because I'm not cooking this today, I'm cooking it tomorrow. So I want this to sit and do a little dry brine overnight. Now technically a dry brine, you just use salt, but yeah, you know what, I think this will be just fine. So that's looking pretty good on there. I like how much garlic I got, and I added some extra pepper to that as well, because I wasn't necessarily happy with how much pepper was on there, so I added some more. God, this is such a big old thing to work with. So come on, you can do it. Look at that. Look at how nicely that side's trimmed up too. I got a lot of that off. That was a lot of fat that we did not need. So, like I said, go heavy on the seasoning, because it's not like you're just doing, it's not like you're putting salt on a steak. I mean, look at how thick this thing is. Come on, you got to get enough seasoning for all of that. So make sure that that's sticking on there as good as you can. That I had to cut out a little bit of a vein there that I didn't like. So now, don't forget your edges too, because that's going to be bark when we get this on the barbecue and smoke this. This seems like way too much work for your mac and cheese, babe. I hope this turns out. But like I said, this was the cheapest beef that we could buy right now. $4.50 a pound, something like that. So yeah, there you go. Throw the seasoning on there, and now this is gonna sit in the fridge overnight. It'll probably be about 18 hours, and yeah, we'll check back tomorrow, because this ain't going on the smoker tonight unless I want to be awake until, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning. No thank you. See you later. Boy, oh boy, would you look at that. So this is the beef fat that we have now rendered down. I stuck it in the oven, I don't know, this has probably been going in there for 2 hours at 350 or so. So what I'm actually gonna keep cooking that, because that fat will end up turning like bacon. That fat is still not crispy. I can make this crispy, and that'll be awesome. So I'm gonna start reserving my fat in that other dish, and then keep cooking this down till she's crispy. We're not wasting anything on this brisket. I'm keeping this.